What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Slabstox Sunday show here on the Slabstox YouTube channel. My name is Aaron, joined by Julian here for another episode. We're on weekly auction number 86 here on the PWCC Weekly Auction. Julian, how is your day going? First football Sunday of the new season.
Fantastic. Any time that football's back, obviously Sundays are for football. My team won, obviously got to represent. Oh, this is this side. Niners, baby. Both of our teams won, as we were just talking about, so I'm pretty happy. Just say
Yes, indeed. Packers with a big start to the year. Obviously, Green Bay Packer fan here. Julian's a Niners fan, which is tough for me because we already have the Chelsea versus Man U rivalry. But honestly, like, of all of our teams and fandoms, I think that the Niners have beaten down the Packers the most of any of the different rivalries that we have. So I mean, we literally have never beat you guys in my lifetime in the playoffs. So I don't even know if before that. Either way, not great.
Yeah, and before I forget, we have to give a quick shout out to our guy in the chat who is chirping Jordan Love.
Yeah, we will definitely talk about that tonight. Let's hope that Jim Baker is staying up a little bit later on the East Coast tonight. First of all, hopefully everyone's doing fine on the East Coast. Note there's a lot of rain and hurricane action going on over there. The Brewers got delayed 3 times in a row out in New York. The stadium started to flood, so hopefully everyone's doing well. But other than that, yeah, we've got a big episode today covering many things in sports cards and specifically as well in football because just made a post to our Slabstox Instagram page about 2 quarterbacks specifically who did not do so well today, asking people, which quarterback was more disappointing. We'll talk about those 2 today in the stream. But in reality, you've been talking about this for weeks now. If you're looking to buy and sell football cards, the least risk to it is to sell them before the season begins, because once the season starts, it's anything goes. One player is a terrible first game and interest can die almost immediately in a player. So we'll definitely walk through those players, break down what happened today and where their markets are heading. So good Sunday night to everyone. Welcome to Ken Wood. Welcome to DJ Quicksilva. I hope you two are doing great. Hope anyone else that tunes in tonight is doing great. If anyone has any cards selling tonight, please let us know so we can give you a shout out in tonight's stream. We've got a number of cards selling ourselves here in the stream tonight. Everything from baseball cards to soccer cards to a hockey card, one of the bigger hockey cards in the auction. Lots of different stuff going. So if you find anything out there that's in an SGC slab in the soccer or baseball market, it's a good chance that stuff might be ours. And then also some nice Bowman University stuff. There's some pretty sick deals out there right now on like Cade Klubnik, Michael Penix, and also Will Shipley Red Shimmer Auto. If anyone wants to go check that out, you might be able to get a massive steal if you go into just searching Bowman and find some of those nice ones that we've got going. Now, reason is I got a ton of them. I got duplicates of almost all that stuff. So that's the only reason why I got those going, is just to sell through the duplicates, have more here with myself. So let's jump into the content for the night, and we're just going to go right to football to start here. So as always, extended bidding starts at 9 p.m. Central Time, and there's about 10 minutes until that starts, and we are going to talk for probably about 20-30 minutes here about football, and then we'll start to direct, maybe 20 minutes, we'll start to direct our attention to the other items ending, stuff that Julian's looking at tonight, some of that stuff, maybe one who be buying slips in there, we'll see. What's up, Chris? How you doing? Happy to have you tune in. And anyone else, he says promotes Julian to Slabstox Senior Break.
I'm working there.
Chris, since you last joined in on the breaks, Julian's been ripping more packs, man. Julian, tell him how many boxes have you ripped cases recently? Probably like 7 or 8.
I mean, in total, since Chris probably tuned in, it's probably been more than that, honestly.
Yeah.
Just adding everything up. Chris, I'm an experienced vet now. Come on now.
Yes,
Senior
sir.
Breaker coming soon.
Join us on Wednesday, Fanatics Live. We have got a full release day of Bowman Chrome Baseball, huge release day. Obviously, we're not talking exclusively about baseball tonight, but Wednesday we'll be talking a lot about baseball. We've got our cheat sheet out there through our daily slab newsletter. And sign up for that, slabstox.com, to get that Bowman Chrome cheat sheet tomorrow morning. There's 31 different prospects in there, tiered analysis with them, things to down on the farm prospects. Big prospect guy, actually goes to games, scouts himself, is a card collector himself as well. So that cards are thought about as well through the making of it. So huge shout out to Vinny from Down on the Farm Prospects. Maybe he's in here right now. But yeah, make sure to sign up for that Daily Slam newsletter to get that cheat sheet, because a lot of these guys I never heard of before this. Only like one or two I did. And I'm sure it's like that for a lot of people as every single new Bowman and Bowman Chrome set comes out. There's always new prospects to learn. So let's
Yeah,
go ahead.
And if Aaron hasn't heard of them, then I definitely have not heard of them.
I was gonna say I've heard of two. Julian's probably heard of none. So well,
I have heard of, but prior to this, I heard about Solace through you. But that's it.
But you're gonna be studying up, right?
Of course. Gotta be ready for that Fanatics Live. And Chris, I forgot about the Android, so we're not trying to rub it in your face, but it's coming soon, hopefully.
Yeah. I do believe so. I just saw something today that said get on the wait list if you're an Android user or something like that. So hopefully that is indeed coming soon. All right, so let's start at the top here with these football, and we'll walk through them. I asked you a little bit about the stats. We'll talk about their markets and where they're trending. And we're just going to start here off the rip with Justin Herbert. So huge game today. Actually, huge matchup was between the Dolphins and Chargers. Probably one of the most, fire-powered matchups from an offense standpoint. And Julian, how'd Herbert's day turn out for him?
Pretty solid. 228 yards and 1 touchdown. They lost by 2, unfortunately, but compared to Tua, obviously, small numbers.
Yeah, and I don't have a Tua card pulled up right now because they're lower down. There's no like massive NTRPA ending this week, but obviously with the Dolphins winning and Tua throwing for what was like 425 yards,
466.
So just like last year, Tua was insanely hot before he suffered some of the concussion problems, and like Tua's obviously talented. I'm glad he's bounced back in his play. But like the health is obviously the biggest concern there with Tua, and his cards are selling very high going into the season. But based on what we saw with the Chargers and Herbert today, starting the season off with a loss, not the worst to the Dolphins team. I think a lot of people are expecting to contend, obviously in the wild card positions, but maybe even push the Bills for a division title this year. So in reality, not the biggest deal. Like I don't think that Herbert's market is like at risk of going down a lot after this first week, like some of these other players are, but definitely, he's going to have to start to add some wins and more touchdowns to this total. That's for sure. You feel that way?
I agree. I think still pretty solid performance. Just everyone's obviously looking at Tua's numbers, but very solid for the Chargers, putting up 34 points. You can't really complain with obviously it's a loss, but it's not a bad loss by any means.
Right. And then one other thing I was going to shout out right now is that the Cowboys and the Giants are actually going right now. It's 26-0.
Yeah, the Giants are getting smacked.
And Dak Prescott only has 91 yards and 0 touchdowns. There's been like a blocked field goal for a touchdown, a pick six. We talked about Daniel Jones on here just 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. The gold vinyl auto had sold for $10,000.
Yeah, 2 interceptions.
2 interceptions, 5 for 1343 yards. So we'll get to their actual cards that are in this auction in a bit, but I think we should just actually jump from this Herbert card because we'll run into a lot of these guys who have done pretty decently today. Actually, let's just move down to Burrow right now. What happened to the Bengals today, dude?
Yeah, I honestly have no idea. Obviously, I didn't watch the game. Like a lot of people, probably, I was checking my fantasy team pretty regularly. I drafted Evan McPherson because I'm like, obviously, they're going to score a ton of touchdowns. They didn't score a touchdown today at all. After signing a huge extension, like you could have played out like so many different scenarios that would have gone on today. That is not one that I would have thought of. Getting absolutely destroyed by the Browns.
Well, I don't know if you heard about what Jamar Chase was talking about with calling them like elves and stuff before the game, but if you're Jamar Chase, if you win the game today and you talk smack before the game, like, wow, congrats, you beat them and you said you were going to, right? But if you lose, like, it's way worse and the media blows up on it. So why do you say that dumb stuff? Like, what are you doing? Like, was it 84 yards Hornets pointed out for Joe Burrow tonight? The difference is like with Burrow, it's like, I think we know he's going to be great this year. An off game's an off game. He's coming off that weird calf strain and everything. I mean, congrats to Cleveland, but I don't really think Deshaun Watson had like a, amazing game, did he? He didn't really do anything.
154 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. It was Nick Chubb that had a crazy game.
What did he do?
106 yards.
Okay, so Chubb is awesome and definitely helped there. So Joe Burrow, not great today. I'm sure that it might be a little bit less interaction on his cards tonight. maybe because of it. But let's just skip to this one right here. We got to get to it because we opened up the episode. I ain't talking enough about the Packers and what happened today. I see that I waited until Big John got into this chat, our resident Bears fan. I just cannot believe this entire offseason, everyone's hyping up, oh, these new weapons. They got DJ Moore. They got this. They got that. And they lay a dud. They had 6 points at halftime. I think they scored 1 touchdown in the second half or something like that. Maybe a garbage time touchdown. But, man, the Bears laid a dud. Jordan Love looked like he was in command. I was told by Jim Baker here that Jordan Love's a game manager, that he's not special. But guess what? He really led that game. Aaron Jones was huge for us too. But, my goodness, Justin Fields, Julian, go in on what Justin Fields is. And I don't think he's that good at all.
Okay. I have to say, roll the tapes back. I have been saying from the start, even on the live streams, go back to the draft when the Bears traded up for Justin Fields. I said that was a bad pick. Everybody chirped me, didn't believe me. He's in his 3rd year and is still struggling to produce. I think it's I'm saying it's time to move on from him, but not a good performance at all. Aaron Rodgers leaves the Packers. Bears fans get hype, claiming they're going to be able to win. I guess Jordan Love's their new daddy.
It's been 8 straight games before today that the Packers beat the Bears. And, of course, all the Bears fans hate Aaron Rodgers. And then Jordan Love says, nope, we're going to continue that streak. Let's go 9 games in Chicago. You got to be so down bad if you're a Bears fan. I'm sorry, Big John, but you just have to be. I mean, and not only if you're a Bears fan, but there's plenty of people out there in the card market that thought that Justin Fields is a top 5 quarterback in the NFL, it seems, the way they're spending money on him.
Yeah, it just baffles me sometimes. I guess you could say he's shown glimpses, but like, how many games has that been? Maybe 1? Like,
yeah, but here's the thing about Justin Fields. He's never had a game in his career that he's have over 200 passing yards and 3 touchdowns or more. That never happened. Jordan Love did that today. And last year he passed for 2,200 yards. And a lot of people were saying, well, he had no weapons. Well, he at least had people out there running routes. And now you bring in DJ Moore. You have Chase Claypool. Claypool is obviously terrible. He hasn't done anything since he landed on the team. And they absolutely,
there's no more excuses at this
point. There's no more excuses. The Packers defense was a little suspect in the first drive, gave up a lot of yards. Like he was, making some scramble plays, but once our defense kind of locked in, like many sacks, he made some bad decisions, just not winning football. That's for sure. So,
yeah. And I don't know what it is, but there's obviously I'm not a huge Ohio State fan. So that's pretty clear, but there's some type of correlation between Ohio State quarterbacks and just absolutely like pooping in the NFL, because I think there's just that, like, not a single Ohio State quarterback's ever made the Pro Bowl.
The Ohio State quarterback situation has never really panned out.
There's got to be doing something where that team is just so good that it's covering for like how bad the quarterbacks is, because I can't come up with any other explanation.
And I mean, CJ Stroud's played his first NFL game, so I'm not going to go in and CJ Stroud.
No.
Justin Fields is a 3rd-year NFL player now. It's a little bit different. But I mean, we still haven't seen a quarterback, I'd say, like break the curse. Like a lot of people I think were like, oh, Justin Fields is that guy, like he can do it. But definitely haven't seen anything up to this point where I'm like he's going to be able to like stick with this team winning and everything like that. Another thing about the Bears too is that like they were in position. They had the 1st overall pick in this draft. Now, I'm not saying that they could have, used that necessarily to replace Fields at this moment, because I understand you want to take a shot with him, like see what he does in a season where you do trade for the receiver and stuff. But we'll see. Maybe it was the wrong move, sticking with Justin Fields. And here's the deal: Justin Fields could end up having an okay season. I'm not really saying that like Justin Fields is necessarily terrible. I know that Julian's probably a bigger Justin Fields hater than I am. I'm more of a hater that like
his cards are just bonkers.
I mean, we're talking like $9,000 for an NTRPA of 99 this month, like was spent. Like that's a lot of money for a guy that has thrown for 2,200 yards in a season in his career. So we'll see what happens with him. And yeah, Tom, he says someone clip all this because remember Chiefs started 1-3. Mahomes looked like crap. So making claims after week was a bit silly. It's not necessarily about needing content though. Like I'm a Packers fan, so I'm just passionate about Bears fans thinking that they got the best things in sliced bread and then getting destroyed once again. I just have never been a Fields really big.
Yeah, and I don't think I understand what Tom's saying, but I just don't think it's comparable at all, because Mahomes obviously didn't look the best for a few games. This is Justin Third's 3rd season, like you said. So I don't think that type of stuff just magically will change overnight.
Yeah. I agree. We'll see though. And yeah, I understand that Lamar Jackson won the MVP of 2,700 yards passing, but remember, Lamar Jackson was like a special case scenario, and that Ravens team won a ton of games, and he scored a ton of touchdowns. Like Fields had one touchdown today, and I don't see this Bears team winning a bunch of games. They look pretty terrible. Um, we'll see though. We'll see what happens. And I don't think he had a rushing touchdown today, so I think he did just have one touchdown. Like that was not the case with Lamar Jackson's MVP year. He was scoring tons of touchdowns.
Yeah.
Same with Jalen Hurts last year when he was in the running for it too. But I know that this game didn't happen today, and it happened on Thursday, so we haven't had a live stream since then. But Jared Goff, he did what he needed to do to win in Kansas City. But bro, his cards are selling for a lot of money now. Like people are really on this Jared Goff like bandwagon, so to speak. If you go and look at his highest selling cards since September 1st, there was two RPAs out of 99 that sold actually through the PWCC vault. One for 2K, and then the gold out of 10 sold for 3.6K. So people are clearly looking to spend money in Jared Goff. They drafted Hendon Hooker in last draft, but he did have a knee injury coming out of Tennessee, and he's 24 already. So it's not saying he's going to push him out, but man, we'll see what happens with the Lions. But I didn't really say anything that I was like that confident in. I just think the Chiefs, like the receivers, completely blew that game for them.
That was bad, especially Darius Toney. Because I went through my head obviously with a lot of fantasy guys. You're like, who's going to be wide receiver one? Even with Kelsey being out, more of an like initiative to like try and get a guy like him, but that was shocking.
Yeah. I think that I've never seen someone individually clown more on Twitter in like a short period of time than Kadarius Toney. Like everything I saw just back
Eli
to back.
Apple might be up there.
Huh?
Eli Apple might be up there.
I forgot about that, but either way, I just saw back to back Tony tweets constantly.
Yeah, I hope he shakes it off though and comes back strong, because obviously it helps with someone like Patrick Mahomes coming out and speaking afterwards and saying he obviously missed a decent amount of training camp. But obviously that's not an excuse, but they're obviously like backing him, so that should help hopefully.
Yep. And then someone brought up Kenny Pickett, so we'll jump right there. Pickett played against Julian's 49ers. Say, Julian, did you watch the 40? I know you had a women's soccer game going on in Madison.
I watched probably 30% of the game. It was, yeah. I mean, obviously the Steelers has a decent defense, and our boy TJ Watt had a pretty good game, which is unfortunate because that's the team he's on. But Kenny Pickett had a really good preseason and not looking too hot during that game. Put up the stats: 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, 232 yards. Outclassed by the boy Brock Purdy today. So we'll see.
Yeah, I can't believe that I can't believe it because he had a great year last year, but like he really came back after that torn UCL and said, "Who cares? I'm gonna play well again."
Yeah, I was worried there was gonna come to a slow start as well, and considering everybody has some film on him now, but he's got that IQ that I really like about. Not the most athletic guy, but he knows how to sling it.
So here's the other thing about Kenny Pickett here is that he's obviously on a huge fan base with the Steelers. He Pittsburgh quarterback from Pittsburgh. Like the making is great here to be like a high coveted card and like big, time player for the organization. The problem is that I feel like if you flop in that situation, and let's say he doesn't pan out and they have their first losing season in however many years, it's been forever, right? Since they had a losing year, I feel like that the narrative can change very quickly. And these cards are selling for a lot of money can start to sell for little money once, he becomes the first quarterback that didn't have a winning season with the Steelers in X amount of years, which I think has been a long time.
I don't know if Mike Tomlin's ever had a.
I don't think
he has. Once maybe.
So I brought up UCL, and we're going to deviate from football here very quickly because news just in a couple hours ago, Jason Dominguez, who had a stellar start to his season with the Yankees, I think it's 4 home runs in like a week or something like that, 300 average. He was just scratched today from the game against the Brewers, and like middle of the game or after the game, it got revealed, just like Ohtani, he tore his UCL, which is crazy. Yeah, diagnosed with a torn UCL. Aaron Boone came on, told the media. So Dominguez starts his career just absolutely burning it up, tearing it up here in the MLB. And that's like the lone bright spot that there was for the Yankees this season. So now Jason Dominguez tears his UCL. I don't know how it happened. I don't know if he was playing the outfield and made a throw, if he swung funny and toward. I don't really know what happened, but the good news is that one, he's super young, and two, for hitters, it's not as important as for pitchers. You saw Bryce Harper do that at the end of last season, had surgery, come back in like 3 or 4 months to start the season, and then started cooking again here a few weeks ago. So like, it's not the end of the world, but also it is difficult to see, for people that were spending quite a lot of money at this moment, because he was playing really well at the end of this year. And I expect Dominguez prices to drop in the offseason, as it would anyways, but because they were hitting pretty crazy heights, now they'll drop a lot.
Yeah, and a quick question, obviously, because I'm still learning about the baseball scene.
Yeah.
Some people might not be as knowledgeable as me, but that whole UCL thing, I thought that was like mainly like pitchers. So like, how does someone like him like tears UCL? Is that just through batting or like?
Yeah. Well, you're right. It is mainly pitchers. How does it happen? I didn't actually see the moment it happened, which I guess it probably happened against the Brewers. I wasn't watching every single pitch of this last weekend's series. I don't know how it happened. If anyone out there saw how this happened with
So is it like how common is it for I don't know what position he plays, but like a non-pitcher to?
Yeah, it's not super super common. I've seen it a few times. Like Bryce Harper's the most famous one recently. There's a couple others. I think that I can't remember any other names off the top of my head. So it happens, but it's not nearly as common. Can you hear me right now, Julian?
Yeah, you're kind of cutting, like freezing.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. I opened a New York Post article and there was like 5,000 ads on it. So it literally started like blowing down my computer. I was trying to find out how he tore it. It just, from what I saw really quickly, it basically looked like that he just started to have soreness, and then they did a scan to see what was up, and then boom. So, I mean,
Wow.
It was probably honestly at a moment that like he maybe didn't even realize it. And then they, go for the scan. The problem is with pitchers is specifically, like, you keep on doing that and you're just going to make it way worse, I think, after the soreness. So it's an interesting injury. That's for sure.
Chris here says Pickett is the next Baker.
Speaking of Baker, how about them Vikings? How about them Vikings losing at home to the Buccaneers? At home to the Buccaneers. Baker Mayfield. What do you say?
Another thing I would not have predicted coming out of week 1.
Well, hey, I'm loving it. As a Packer fan, all my friends are just beside themselves. I got a lot of high school friends that are Vikings fans. And their second half was abysmal, man. They had a lot of yards in the first half, but had like 3 turnovers. The second half, they were just trash, barely moved the ball. Speaking of another quarterback out there that was playing today in their first season as a full starter, or at least what it hopefully is for him, Sam Howell for the Commanders. They ended up winning the game, but it was against conceivably the worst team in the NFL, the Arizona Cardinals, with Joshua Dobbs at quarterback, who they just traded for. And I think that Sam Howell ended up with, you got the stats, Julian?
202 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception.
Yeah, so I mean, they won, but nothing crazy. I didn't watch the game. He had a rushing touchdown. I didn't watch the game, so I don't really know what the read is on Sam Howell. If anyone else can let us know on Sam Howell, it'd be good to hear, because his cards have been selling for a lot. Any player that becomes a starter ends up selling for a lot of money, which is always a good time to sell if they're not a player you really believe in.
That's sure. And then also with him, I think that was the last game of the season last year, he kind of like popped off. So there's obviously like that kind of like cliffhanger.
Yeah.
To be like, where could he start off the season, which definitely doesn't help.
So. Yeah, the carryover effect definitely is real with some of these players as well. That's for sure. That is for sure. All right, we are 20 minutes away now for extended meeting. We'll cover a couple more quarterbacks here, then we'll throw it over to Julian for some takes. But let's see here. Desmond Ridder, didn't really do a whole lot. I didn't watch the game, but the stats, what was it, Julian? It's like 12 for 1,500 yards or something.
Yeah, let me pull it up. 115 yards, 1 touchdown. 15
yeah, so wasn't anything crazy. It looked just from the stats, didn't see any many mistakes. But obviously, without watching the game, it's hard to tell sometimes on the quarterback. But either way, I mean, there's some mega cards ending tonight. $3,000 in the Gold Prism PSA 10. You got the White Sparkle PSA 10 at 2,200, which is kind of crazy to me. How is that close in price to it? The gold should be way more expensive. It's serial numbered. I don't understand that one. Yeah. But also, I'd rather have a cracked ice Contenders auto than a White Sparkle. But that's just me. So there's a lot of crazy Desmond Ridder cards ending tonight. There's that really kind of ridiculous die cut that Panini made this year for Select for Sam Howell ending, $850. And then I want to get on to Jordan Love here, because we got a little bit longer to talk about some of these football players. But Jordan Love, there is very few cards ending tonight of Jordan Love, which is interesting because for the last like 8 months, there's been a lot of Jordan Love cards selling in every auction. Tonight, there's like 7 or something like that, like 8. Here's the deal. I think, Julian, a lot of people were selling Jordan Love going into the season, expecting him to be bad, but waiting to sell some of these other guys, in the first few weeks, expecting to maybe do some things. And now there's only 8 cards for sale. And I'm sure these people are happy that they're selling tonight. They had such a good game against the Bears. So we're seeing, blue optic contenders auto, it's numbered out 75 at $675 right there. A red one, 675. That was a 9510. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure Jordan Love cards are definitely getting some heat. I mean, a raw contenders on at 420. Dude, I remember when I passed on freaking PSA 10s of this for $250, I think. I'm sure those are like $1,000 plus cards now or something like that. Let's see. I mean, at this point, like, I'm not trying to get ahead of myself, but like my hopes are way higher than they were prior to week 1. Like, I thought we could have lost this game like easily at Chicago, but now I'm like, shoot, let's win this freaking division. Who cares about the Lions? Vikings are irrelevant to me. But yeah, man.
Slow your roll there, buddy.
I know. But to be fair, the NFC North is probably the second weakest division in football, if not the weakest in some scenarios. I mean, NFC South is not good either, but yeah, I shouldn't get too excited. There's a Breece Hall optic 1 of 1 ending tonight. Lots of our football cards, so go check them out. If you're interested. Baker Mayfield. And also a ridiculous, he just retired, but a ridiculous slab booklet here with a slab the size of a massive magazine. It seems...
You need to make sure there's enough room around the card.
Don't want it to get damaged. Don't even stop asking about Cam Ward. We're not talking about Washington State here on Slab Stock Sundays. The only thing that went wrong this entire weekend was Wisconsin.
It was bad, man.
It was bad.
It was bad. But I'm still going to complain about the referees because we would have won the game if the referees didn't blow that game.
I agree with you, but also like we shouldn't be in that position.
No, of course not. But just that safety call is just, oh God, it's going to haunt me.
I saw a lot of people trying to argue that he was on the 1-inch line at the point where he was getting tackled. So like that,
a solid 4 inches in his end zone after he ran backwards.
He kind of put himself in that position. Like, how can you blame the defender for like, it's like he like picked him up and threw him backwards.
No, he was like running backwards. He had like his arm out trying to like push him away and get out of it. And then they tackled him because he was running backwards. Like,
and then the fumble call is pretty abysmal on Malusi also.
There's a ton of stuff. So
for sure.
If I see our players running laps on campus, I'll know why.
Yeah, definitely. All right, let's move on to some of Julian's selections for this week, and also one maybe a Hoobie buying slides into there. So Julian, kick us off.
We're not doing any Hoobie buying this week.
Okay, I'll return next week.
We're sticking that. That's the entire segment. We can't be doing any crazy. We got to keep it together.
Keep it pure.
Yes. So we're just gonna stick with a couple cards that I love, and I think I'll explain why, obviously.
Also, before we move on, we talked a lot about a bunch of different sports. I can't fail to recognize Coco Gauff for winning her first Grand Slam, and also Djokovic for winning his record-extending 24th. Insane tennis action. He did. Insane tennis action in the U.S. Open this week. I watched the last couple weeks straight. I love the U.S. Open, and man, it was awesome watching Coco yesterday. Scott says, no Hoobie buying? Why did I even come then? All right, now you know you can come back next week. So
Julian, that's the hype is just building it up.
Let's get on to it.
All right, first one. Ansu Fati 2020 Immaculate Bronze.
That's my card I'm selling. I thought this was Hoobie buying for a second. I was like, oh no.
No. I didn't even know this was your card.
This is my card I'm selling.
Basically, Ansu Fati, I think he's going to have a really great season at Brighton. Maybe not specifically this card, obviously, because it's ours, but I think that he's going to fit really well in that Brighton system. He's coming from a team that's absolutely loaded, so it was going to be hard for him to break into it. So it makes sense for him to leave. Obviously, most people are rooting for this Brighton team. Really like the way they play. Ton of great players, young players. I think he'll slot in really well, do well in the Premier League, and then his cards will probably bounce up quite a bit because a lot of his stuff is dirt cheap right now.
Yeah,
Um,
I sent this to auction prior to the loan happening. I didn't really know that the loan was going to happen at that point. I didn't really expect him to leave. Probably would have held it to see how he does with that front line there in Brighton, because honestly they're kind of sick right now. And PSA 8 of this card sold for $135 on December 4th, 2022. Last summer, a PSA 9 sold for $300. Obviously, that's last summer, so it's not $300 right now. I'm not trying to say that. But Julian's right. I mean, the cards have dropped a lot. So if anyone wants a cheap little go at Ansu Fati joining Brighton, yes, it's our card, but have at it.
all right. Next up, personal favorite 2020 McLaren Gold Sapphire.
That's a nice one.
I love me some McLaren. That's my team. Best team out there. Don't care about Red Bull. Red Bull sucks. But yeah, the logos in 2020 Chrome and Chrome Sapphire, just I love them so much, and obviously a lot of people like them too. The gold with it just hits different. So big fan of this card. Logo McLaren, can't go wrong.
Love it. What's up, Hank? How we doing? I'm sure you're excited about Jordan Love today. And then also I want to point out this comment from Peg Jung. Pretty funny. He goes, I am on the PUP list, player unable to purchase list for a bit. Like it. All right. Next up.
All right, I'm hoping this card also isn't ours, but I don't think it is. Caitlin Clark Kahuna Auto.
No, it's not.
Sick. Mikey B, representing Mikey B right now.
There it is.
Obviously, one of the top college. Well, I was like women's college players, but college players in general. One of the most recognizable, one of the best. Those Kahuna cards, I really love that insert. The autos just make a difference. Super, super rare. I've said time and time again that the Bowman Chrome University for football and basketball from this year is probably one of my favorite products. Might have ripped a little bit too much of it so far. Have a bunch of the cards, but Caitlin Clark, I think that's a good person to buy just because of how dominant she's been in the past couple of years. I don't think it's going to stop. And then obviously she's going to be heading to the WNBA probably after this season. So,
yeah, I agree with you on Caitlin Clark. And the other thing about her is that she's had a few products released now, so there are more options out there. So I feel like you can get at a better price because there's just more supply out there. But I actually just saw that it was her and Bronny James. Her and Brian James were the first, I think, NIL athletes ever to get added to Nike's website to have like player merchandise purchase. So you can like buy like an Iowa shirt that says 22 on her name on the back. To be honest, like I know that I'm glad that Brian James is doing well and can play, but I am utterly shocked it wasn't her and Caleb Williams. I know that Bronny is the just big name tied to LeBron, but like he hasn't even played a single second of college basketball yet. Caleb Williams is an absolute collegiate superstar. I'd say that Caleb Williams is possibly the biggest, one of the biggest collegiate superstars we've seen, specifically because he's during the NIL era. I know there's been some mega stars in the past. I'm not trying to like downplay them, like what Tebow did or Reggie Bush or Vince Young, some of these other guys. But like the fact that Caleb's around the NIL era just creates so many more opportunities for these guys to like guys and girls to get talked about out there through different partnerships and all these different things. So yeah, Caleb's a star, and I do have a Caleb Williams, actually 2 Caleb Williams cards ending tonight. But I got many more here too, so I definitely believe in him and what he's doing on his way to the NFL.
yeah, for sure. But you never know. That the father quote keeps popping up where he's like, I might go back to college. I'm like, come on, there's no way that's actually gonna happen.
Dude, these fathers need to like just stop talking, putting the cart before the horse type of situation here, because like I respect these dads, that like are want to be involved in what their kids are doing with sports, but like don't put these kids in a position to where like they have to make a decision based on what you're saying in the media or something like that. It's just like,
come on now, Claudio Reyna, Father of the Year.
Yeah, right. No, like the thing about Caleb Williams is like I understand now maybe there's like some monetary reasons behind like staying in school. Like if you are a $5 million NIL athlete, that you don't have to go to the NFL right away, because before there was like no opportunity to make money, and now it's like, oh, I guess you can make just not as much, but 50% of what you can make as a first overall pick. But to me, you can't risk being the guaranteed first overall pick. Like, there's no reason to risk that. Like, do your work in college right now. You played at USC last year. You almost made the college football playoff. Go for it this year. Get to the NFL and be that first overall pick like you're pretty much guaranteed to be, as long as there's no injuries or devastating other circumstances, that occur this year.
I agree.
So, like, I can't.
Sorry, you keep going.
No, go bring up Bazooka Tom's comment.
I was going to say, he said Clark and the Iowa women's team are playing at the football stadium this year like the Nebraska women's volleyball team did. That seems very cool.
That's going to be electric. I don't know if anyone saw, but Topps actually made a Bowman University Now card off of the Nebraska women's game. They did. So it's like you could order, on demand. I'm sure they made some parallels of it. But dang, that is going to be a hyped up event for sure.
That's got to break because the Nebraska record, like they hold the record right now. So I feel like they're just so good.
They might not have enough seats though. It can beat a Nebraska State. Maybe they do though.
You're right.
Yeah, they might just not have enough seats. Real Music says he not Nike, talking about Caleb Williams, the t-shirt comment I made. I don't think it matters because Nike is the partner for USC Athletics. So by that, I'm pretty sure they could just make that shirt anyways, like they do for any NBA player out there, even if they sign a sneaker deal with like Adidas. I don't think it matters if Caleb Williams is like a specific Nike like apparel athlete or not, because USC has those rights. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's different with NIL, and maybe there's an exclusivity tied to it, because it would be the obvious choice in my mind over Bronny.
Is he signed to Adidas?
He might be. I mean, obviously, Real Music has some information. Let's see here. I'm just gonna type in shoe deal or something like that.
I think he's Nike.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to get. I'm not sure.
He either hasn't signed one, because I see stuff with both Adidas and Nike.
Yeah. There's a bunch of other random brands I'm seeing popping up, but nothing like a major manufacturer. All right, moving on. Julian, get to talk about a couple of cards he likes. You're done with that, right? Those are your three?
I am done.
All right, nice. Good. This card I love. Now, I couldn't really catch myself spending $1,000 plus. He signed with Wendy's. He is on Wendy's commercials.
Oh my gosh, I have seen so many of those.
If you watch college football, you see Caleb Williams on the Dr. Pepper
over and over and over. Oh my gosh, there was one. Obviously, Aaron, you're watching the Wisconsin one. It was like lung cancer with like there was like the lungs, and it was like matches. Bro, I think I saw that ad probably 10 times. I was like lip syncing to this ad because I've seen it so many times.
That's like watching the Brewers games and seeing the Kiss concert, like end of the road concert ad, which plays like every other inning. But yeah, no, there was a lot of Caleb Williams.
That was a great comment by Crollo.
Yeah, for sure. I love this Chris Middleton card. It's got the fear of the deer patch on it, but you couldn't really catch me spending over $1,000 on Chris Middleton card. I've got a couple Chris cards, but nothing nearly that expensive. It's a sick card though. I'm sure some Bucks fans gonna walk away with a super nice one there.
Crollo, 100%. If it sticks in my head, very good marketing.
That's true. I mean, I gotta say, there's some really annoying ads out there, like Burger King. I can't stand them, but at least you know what they're saying. Like after like I can't stand that. There's a few out there like that for sure. Oh, this is such a cool one ending tonight. This Hank Aaron Archives 2017 Topps Auto. I got myself a 1-of-1 now. Thanks to Jordan. I got my Superfractor I traded for, so no need for that. Julian, what do you think about this? This kind of seems out of maybe a lot of pockets to me. I mean, it's a 1-of-1, but this isn't a Top Scrum Superfractor. This isn't a Sapphire Paperdasha. This is a first edition foil fractor from Top Paper. And it's not a rookie either. This is pictured in his loan kit with PSG. Oh no, excuse me, not loan kit. It's not. This is before the loan, but he did have 2020 Stadium Club rookies.
It's actually funny you mentioned that, because I saw this one when I was scrolling through the auctions, and I was also had a very similar impression to you, that it's strange that card is that much. Obviously, he's not on PSG anymore. It's not Chrome, so like Superfractors, obviously like, that's the preference to a lot of people, but he's a baller, so I think that's why. It's just they see the name. It's a 1-of-1. but yeah, I wouldn't be spending nearly that much money on that type of card.
No, he's super good, so that's probably why it is up that much. But yeah, it is quite a bit. There's a Wemby PSA 6 here. If anyone wants to get in on a rare Wemby auto for, I guess, a lower amount, there's a PSA 6. A couple different 101s available. Some super fractors. There's this really cool Messi. I love this Inception card from 2020 Inception. Iconic image. But yeah, that's expensive for a non-numbered card. I could have gotten a blue of those, I think, at the National. But those cards are sick.
Yeah.
I used to collect 2010 tops like crazy back when I was younger, playing football in middle school. Tim Tebow, Sam Bradford, Colt McCoy, Rob Gronkowski, Des Bryant, Demaryius Thomas, RIP. There's a lot of names in that set, but this is a Heinz Ward PSA 10 tops platinum 1/1. I gotta say, I love the foil fractors that they've added. I think the top should just rip the band-aid off at some point and stop these platinums, because a lot of them just look like gray borders, and just or make the platinums like a foil board sparkle or something like that. But man, there's nothing to that card that makes me think that's a 1/1 or cool. There's also, do you see the Griezmann foil fractor?
I did too. Yeah.
Yeah, that one's like
someone's just unloading the foil fractors.
I guess so. Starling Castro, super fractor. There's a lot of different 1/1s. There's Serena Williams rookie in here. I love this Mbappe gold out of 10, but I think that like buying any non-Mbappe rookie with the PSG kit is definitely an interesting ball game right now. I know I've got a couple Inceptions going for sale in this auction because, like, dude, every other week, every other month, I swear he's leaving on free agent. No, he's committed to the like, I don't even know what's going on.
Yeah, at this point, I'm just staying away from Mbappe. Even like rookie stuff, I probably wouldn't buy.
Yeah.
You're speaking of gold. There was like the PSG set gold auto in this auction, which is a pretty big card. But I was like, who knows next summer where he's going to be? And even staying at PSG now, the value with that PSG shirt on it is less. And imagine he leaves. It's just so.
I agree. I don't. I mean, I know there's probably some stuff in American sports that's happened, but I don't really recall something that's this hot and cold, wishy-washy, like I'm here, I'm not, like it's just crazy.
Yeah, I can't think of it. I thought for sure it was done after he signed a new contract, but sure enough, this past summer, suddenly he wants to leave, and then somehow they managed to convince him to stay.
Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy for sure.
We also, at one point, we're once you like keep scrolling, I want to, if there's any Pokemon people in this chat, what's up with this Chansey 2021 where it's like kind of look like drawn? I want to figure out what's up with this.
Yeah, what is up with that, man?
I want to know what's going on.
I need to know too. That thing, how much is that?
22,500 pre-buyer premium.
What in the world? That's crazy. That's actually insane. You said 22,000?
Yes.
Not
anniversary.
Not a good weekend to be selling a Nick Saban auto in the auction. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I think that the NIL deals have totally shooken up how college sports is playing out. I mean, you see teams like Clemson like get exposed week 1 to Duke. I'm not saying that the NIL specifically did that, but like there's just much more parity between all the teams, I feel. Do you agree?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you wouldn't have seen Alabama losing that type of game 5-6 years ago.
No, I mean, they beat Texas in the national championship game when Colt McCoy was there, and I was sad about that. I used to want to go to Texas. That's actually the only school I got denied by.
Oh my gosh, Texas! That school is like impossible to get into.
It was like a 3% acceptance rate out of state or something like that. It's the only school I got denied by, and I always want to go there. I went there twice when I was younger for football games. I went there and toured it when I was in college, or excuse me, in high school. But man, I am happy to see them beat Bama. That is so awesome. That was an awesome game. I was very fired up about that. 100%.
We got 2 explanations on the Pokemon cards. Jack says, I think it's from a contest they do, 101. Okay, that would make sense. And then Dan also makes sense, money laundering.
So I know in the Pokemon market, like the things that sell for sometimes those like exorbitant amounts of money. It is like these trophy cards where like you like play in a tournament and they're like very rare, or like short, like super small print copies for just the winner, stuff like that, that
Yeah.
actually brings like the ridiculous amounts of money. And I'll show the card here before um it sells. It hasn't sold yet, right?
No. 3 minutes left without a bid. Or 3 minutes left and then it's done.
Or he gets excited. Chansey, what's the name of this thing? It's like,
It's a 2021 Japanese creatures.
that's all I need. Yeah, there it is. So it looks like that.
Yeah.
Some kid could just draw.
Yeah, right. You're like a kid and you're like trying to do it by memory.
You're like trying to like copy the Chansey first edition card. But no, I mean, obviously more power to the people selling it, or to even the collector buying it. You know, I'm just not a Pokemon guy.
Yeah, it seems pretty cool, and I don't know the backstory behind it, but I was just wondering because I know obviously there's some cool stories behind a bunch of stuff, like what's the one? It's like the Pikachu Illustrator or whatever.
Oh yeah, no, that's like mega.
Yeah, and that came from like I think it was like the creator or something's birthday party or something like that. It was like a backstory behind how a bunch of people got that.
Yeah, he's got like the birthday cake on it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's a different card. There's a different card where the birthday cake's on. The illustrator, he's got like the paintbrush in his hand, I think.
Yeah.
For any big Anthony Rizzo fan or Cubs fan, or I guess maybe Yankees fan, there's a huge Hope Diamond PSA 10 of Rizzo selling here. This is one of his very best cards. Population 3, numbered out of 60. Insanely hard to hit those. Imagine Topps flagship, and there obviously there's way less of it made back in 2011. But hitting a parallel numbered out of 60 like that, where it's the diamond anniversary, it's a crazy card. And that does not pop up very often, very often, especially for auctions. So you kind of got to make a play on that if you're an Anthony Rizzo fan for whatever reason it might be. But I know that Julian at least knows that name from that Cubs.
I do indeed.
World Series team. I love Heritage Black Refractors. Some of the, in my opinion, cream of the crop when it comes to rookie cards. I know some years is white refractor if it's a black border. I think it's like the 1972 design or something like that. I think it was. But either way, this is a Bobby Witt Jr. black refractor here, which is probably around 50% of what it was preseason during spring training. So if you like Bobby Witt Jr., that's a nice card to hop on. There's a bat now with JD Martinez. Top Sterling has got some awesome relics, but this year's design it didn't do it for me. There's too much plain white and too much like plain gray on it. But I mean, bat knobs are bat knobs. And that card's filthy. Big Kevin Love piece as well in this auction, which is crazy. It's like exquisite nameplates out of 25, I think it was. And also Deion Sanders, bro. I guarantee you that there's card action because of what's going on with Colorado right now. But the media is starting to get a little too crazy, bro. They're starting to kind of annoy me with Colorado. What do you think? What do you think about the whole Colorado?
National champions.
Well, I mean,
it's it went 0 to 100 very quickly. Let's just say that they could be absolutely atrocious. Like Coach Prime is not a good coach type of stuff. To he's absolutely amazing. So it'll be interesting to see how it's played out. They already have. You have to give them credit because they obviously have more wins than they did last season in 2 games.
But I think the problem is that I don't have a problem with people talking about that. I have a problem with people not putting it in context. They brought in like 65 new players, like all way better than what they had. It's not like he took the 1-win team and like spent a summer with them and spring with them and said, okay, now this is a 2-win team come week 2. But either way, even to get that many recruits, that many transfers to go and everything, impressive. I'm not trying to be a hater, but the media sometimes, and that's my small town sports team mentality, specifically in the NBA. When you watch First Take and all you see is them talking about, I want to be in Miami because it's on the coast and it's nice weather, but I don't even care about basketball. Like, that's just annoying. Like, I'm sick of it. So, but also, let Coach Prime cook, let him do well. His son is obviously an awesome player. So we'll see how it goes. But they're already in I think ranked 17, 18 now.
Yeah.
Looks like,
and I know Wisconsin has dropped out of the
and replaced by Washington State. So I mean, we should not have lost those games or this year and last year, but at the very least, that we're talking about a team that's in the top 25 now.
Yeah, right. Because they cooked us.
Yeah. All right, we got some wins there from Big John. You want to cover those real quick?
Yes, Big John won 3 cards. 2023 West Japan Rapunzel for daughter. What a great dad. Kobe White Recon Auto out of 75. And a Luis Robert Brooklyn Collection Blue Rookie out of 40.
Very nice.
Shout out Big John. I bet
Shout out
your
Big
daughter
John.
really going to like that card. You can't go wrong with Rapunzel.
Not at all. I gotta point this out. This is an Enzo Ferrari card at $21,000 here from 1920. That is Mr.
Bro,
Ferrari.
that's Mesut Ozil. You
I was
cannot
gonna
tell me
say,
that's not Mesut Ozil.
I was gonna say, I feel like I've seen this guy before.
That is Ozil reincarnated. Like that is 100% Ozil is Enzo Ferrari.
That is hilarious. That is too good. Either way, $21,000 for that. That's pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy indeed. And there's Josh Allen at 20K right there. So the Jets and the Bills play tomorrow night. I could not believe the amount of people picking the Jets to win the Super Bowl on ESPN, like analysts and such.
Yeah, I'm just convinced at this point those analysts are just saying stuff to have people tune into their show because that's just it's hard to jump to that conclusion. But we'll see. The boy Aaron Rodgers sometimes pulls off some stuff.
I mean, yeah, Rodgers is obviously, he's been good for the Packers, and I'm not going to deny that as watching him for a lot of years and being on the Jets, it gives him an opportunity to play somewhere else, have a great defense. But at the same time, it's like, I'm not sure going Super Bowl right away is even realistic given what I've watched the last couple of years of the Packers.
Yeah.
You can't convince me this Jets team is that much better than what some of those Packers teams were either.
Well, last year's Packers team, they're definitely better.
Last year's Packers team, yes. When we had Devontae Adams, though.
Yeah, then that's where it becomes
that's better receiver than Garrett Wilson at the time. I'm not saying Garrett Wilson won't be better eventually. But yeah, we'll see. I'm excited to see what happens. I'll be watching tomorrow night while breaking probably. But
Crollo won a 2018 Prism Nick Chubb neon green RC Auto. PSA 9, as we mentioned earlier. That dude was feasting today. Great.
He's been feasting for years now. Honestly, shout out Nick Chubb.
One of the most consistent, not injured players.
And that's crazy considering he had a really brutal knee injury in college. And generally those are players who are like, man, it's going to be tough for them to recover from that one,
Yeah.
But wow.
Yeah. Real music. That fire Rari gang. And then Wesley collects Acuna or Betts for MVP. I say Acuna. That's what he said.
I saw Peg Junk. Unfortunately, you have to have an Apple device at this moment. I believe there's going to be ways in the future to watch on desktop and also download for Android. So hopefully that all comes here very soon because I know a lot of y'all want to join us on there. But yeah, hopefully that's soon for Fanatics Live. As for the Acuna or Betts thing, I saw MLB Instagram account posted the current MVP voting, and it was their analysts had 28 votes for Acuna, 26 for Betts first place votes. So I went to Acuna right now, but Betts has had better hitting stats, but Acuna's had way more stolen bases, and their team's in first place, and they just locked up the first playoff position of the season as well. So it's gonna be a very, very tight battle, but also he's the first player that's ever done 30-60, 30 home runs, 60 stolen bases. I think it's going to be very hard for Acuna to lose that. He has not won an MVP yet. You know how it goes in the NBA. When they have players that haven't won MVPs yet and they do something good, they generally give them the MVP.
Or you just need a Marcus Smart situation where you get interviewed the week before and say, I deserve it, I'm so good, and then gets awarded Defensive Player of the Year.
Right. Yeah, no, that's ridiculous. Speaking of basketball, Team USA embarrassingly lost to Germany and then followed it up by losing to Canada and letting Dylan Brooks drop 39 points.
That's schmuck Dylan Brooks.
How do you let Dylan Brooks score 39 points?
Losing, there's losing, and then there's Dylan Brooks scoring 39 points on you, which just makes it so much worse.
Man, that's brutal. So some of these players who are younger, now I'm not even saying like Bancheros of the world. I'm talking Tatum and Booker. please go play at the Olympics. Don't let us get fourth place at the Olympics, please. Even like freaking Kevin Durant, like go play for a little
I
bit.
saw a graphic that was like Steph Curry, LeBron James, Kevin Durant. Imagine we just like pull out like everybody for the Olympics.
Hey, I mean, it's crazy. This is
Amazing.
like kind of happening twice over in LeBron's career span, which is just wild to think in general. But like, they had to do the redeem team at one point. Do it again.
Yeah. Yeah, and like you said, at the very least, let's get like the Tatums, the Bookers.
Yeah, Donovan Mitchell, like those
Like,
guys.
yeah, they would
like we'll win the gold medal with that much. Like we don't. I'm not saying that like I wouldn't like to see Curry and those guys play, but
yeah, you got to do it for your country, man. Do it for the country. Come on, boys.
100%. I'm trying to figure out a nice giveaway token right now. I'm trying as hard as possible not to acknowledge a Cubs player, but this Justin Steele bro, like embarrassingly enough, I didn't know who he was before the Topps Chrome Baseball release, and don't even ask me how it's possible with watching as much Brewers as I have, but I was not paying attention to enough day-by-day stats before July for baseball, that's for sure. This guy's like top 3, I think, in the NL and ERA, and he's a rookie in this year's Topps products, and he's a beast. And yeah, I don't like it. So Cubs, please get worse pitchers. I don't want to play them.
That Cubs team, they're very solid, very solid.
Yeah, they are. But the Diamondbacks won 2 of 3 in Chicago this weekend, so we'd love to hear that.
Also, the Diamondbacks are different gravy.
I mean, they're playing well right now, but the Cubs are probably better than them.
You think?
Now. Yeah. Oh. I mean, they got like a game up on the Diamondbacks right now in the wild card, but also the Diamondbacks are still in the wild card because there's 3 now. So, I want a Ryan Braun autograph for everyone wondering. I did buy a Ryan Braun auto tonight. Yes, I understand that he used steroids, but we have a sick red auto out of 5 for $34. That is because he used steroids. That was $34. You're not getting that type of card probably for $34 if he was not on steroids. So there we go. $34 for a red auto out of 5. Used to have a jersey of him while I was younger. Was my favorite player before that whole shebang went down. But there is still some big modern cards running in the auction tonight. We are down to 1 minute on the clock before the next window commences. There's a pretty big Lamar Jackson there with the logo patch. We got some nice Ichiros tonight. Acuna, there's a gold wave auto, and that Rizzo's up to $1,300, which is not shocking me at all.
We got some big moves from Bazooka Tom here. Going to all 3 Cubs Rockies games this week. Dedication.
All 3 Cubs Rockies games. That's impressive.
And he says Adam Steele has the best ERA in the NL.
Oh, he's down to the best ERA? Wow. See, Tom, I was wondering if you were a Bears fan because I thought that you were a Cubs fan too, but I am not 100% certain on where your fandom lies. But I was trying to figure out if I could throw some jabs in based off of this.
I think it'd be a little bit more than a jab.
Based off of today's dub, to say the least. What's up, SCP? Well, thank you for catching the show and joining, and also going back and watching later, if that's what you choose to do. Man, this card had the making of being an absolute mega one. Now, it did release just last year, so a lot of this stuff has already been going down. But like Tatis, Vlad, and Soto, by no means are these players like not going to be some of the best players in the game going forward. But like the hype on these dudes at the point of like 2021 was just mega. Vlad Guerrero Jr. had an insane year during that COVID year. Tatis, obviously, prior to the whole steroid thing, what was major in the market, and Soto was on track to being one of the best hitters of all time, probably. Although he did have some pretty down years. But if you got Tatis's stats, I want to know what people think about Tatis's market, because there's been so many drops in Tatis's market. All right, his career OPS is 904. This year he has a .77 OPS, so it's quite lower. Career OPS plus, which is like relative to league average, is 146, 46% better than league average. This year it's 115, 15% better than league average. This is his first year since there is no steroid usage to our knowledge. And his averages and everything is quite a bit lower. So I am not shocked that Tatis cards are on the drop when post steroids you are much worse than what you were prior to the steroids.
You said this is the first year?
Well, he just came back from the suspension early this year. So I'm not saying that earlier in his career he wasn't like on the juice
like,
or whatever.
You're not regularly checked for that, so like there's a way he could have gotten away with it.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure that there's probably quite a bit of measures in place for these, or not measures, ways that these players can probably like try to avoid testing at different times, all this different stuff. So like I'm not saying that that's for sure a thing, but like I'm not very confident in the fact that like every single test that's ever happened has caught someone, or the fact that like these players can't time test depending when they're happening. What is OPS?
Oh, hold on. Let me take a stab at this. I've been learning on base percentage plus slugging.
Look at that, Julian, big baseball guy. That's indeed right. It is on base plus slugging.
What I only know that because that was one of the things I asked you.
Which on base is the percent that you are getting on base, which is pretty self-explanatory. And then slugging percentage is a metric to gauge like how many extra base hits you're hitting for, which is a little bit harder to explain, but basically it takes into account like your total bases in a season divided by, I believe it's your at-bats. I don't think it's plate appearances. I'm pretty sure it takes out like walks and such. So I'm pretty sure it's at-bats, total bases in a season divided by at-bats, and you get your slugging percentage, which let's see what Tatis's career is. It's a 550, which is pretty good. Now it's 455 this year, so it's 100 points lower just about.
Real music, I'm with you though, brother. There's way too many stats in baseball, and it's very hard to keep track of. I'm trying.
There are a lot of stats in baseball, and you can go delve pretty deep, I'd say, to try to figure out a lot of different stuff. But there's a few surface level stats that definitely help to at least get a gauge on what's happening for each player. That's for sure. There's a red Neymar at 5 from the net. This is actually kind of shocking to me. I feel like that's like a lot for that card.
At the current moment, yes. I would say when you.
Oh wait, I thought that this was the national.
No, that's not national.
Oh, okay, never mind. I thought the national. That's kind of crazy, but that's not that crazy. I guess.
I was gonna say for the right now that he's in Saudi, I guess you could see it. But like when he was on PSG, I would have said that's pretty low.
Yeah, definitely. But also that's probably why it is pretty low, huh?
Yeah.
Wow, Freddie Freeman. No, I mean the guy's having a fantastic year. He just set the record for most
put a bid.
No. For most extra base hits in shoot, I got a bit on that card, just 1 second. Most what?
Beg Junk says, wait, if WAR and OPS are important, why don't they make a stat called WAR Pops?
WAR plus OPS. That's funny. Either way, I don't even know where I was going with what. Oh yeah, he just set the record for most doubles in Dodgers franchise history. That's what I was about to say.
Freddie Freeman did?
Yeah.
And he's only been on the team for what? This is second season?
No, like a single season record.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say that wouldn't really be. Oh, Julian, quick take. Brady gold vinyl F5 PSA 10 or Mahomes gold vinyl PSA 10 number F5. Which one do you rather have?
Yeah, man, easy pet. No, it's definitely Tom Brady.
You take the Brady. Yeah, no, I think that like
I also just like the way that card looks way better.
You do?
Yes.
Why?
It's not a die cut though, right? It just looks like
No, it's not. It just has some black.
Like, yeah. I don't know. I can't.
I don't know, bro. I
think it's more like I don't know.
I think this card's kind of whack. And you don't have to agree with me, but like there's these weird like little circle like semicircles going through the middle of the card. The black outlines. There's too many lines going on with the card.
You're right.
I know that Prism 2 years in a row went with super similar designs, but in 2020, like there's still a lot of lines going on here, but like at least it's not as much as 2019.
Yeah, I might. The I'm sticking to my guns. I'll say Tom Brady.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying you should strictly pick it off the design. I just don't think the design is nice.
Yeah.
There is quite a crazy quad auto here from Leaf. You've got the Messi, Pele, Ronaldo, and Holland. And the thing I want to point about this is imagine, Julian, there was a card of the 4 of these players, 1/1 Superfractor from Topps Chrome.
I was literally just thinking that.
Like, what does that sell for? Like $250,000?
Well, the Holland, Ronaldo, Messi did what? What was it?
140 or something?
140. So yeah, it's
136.
got to be. You throw in Pele on that, it's got to be 250 plus.
Yeah. And obviously this is not licensed Leaf, kind of not the best looking card in my mind. But yeah, it's $6,250. And looks like that Desmond Ritter, 5K for a gold prism PSA 10. I want to figure out. All right. Now, I understand that things went wrong last year with Russell Wilson. Bro, you cannot tell me that Desmond Ritter should only be $1,000 less than this Russell Wilson jersey number gold prism PSA 10.
Yeah, except here's the thing: is we all know that people are just focused on what's happening right now.
I know.
Even though for me it's shocking as well. But
it's crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
We need Russ to turn it around.
Yeah, I know. And honestly, he had a better game in the first half day, but it doesn't look like that they ended very well.
No, and it's Sean Payton's first game, so I'm sure, hopefully, got some big wins coming. Because Broncos country, that's right.
It is a make or break season, though. I feel like for them, like they kind of got to figure out the direction they're going in at the QB position. Maybe, I mean, he signed a mega deal though, right? So like, who knows? I guess I have no idea. I don't know what's gonna happen. Beats me. Then Bob is at 320, gold out of 10. Carlos Sainz. That's a nice one. The orange with the orange McLaren, obviously on Ferrari now, but still a nice card. Yeah, Chris, every year I say to myself, there's going to be something different here in the football card market. But every year, I feel like that it gets even worse, as you say. The QB market is as inflated as it ever has been. Bailey Zappi cards were going for as much as Russell Wilson, and now he's on the practice squad of the Patriots. I don't know where the switch might happen, or where,
I have the response. I know why.
Why?
I call it short-term memory loss or long-term memory loss.
Or short-term. You forget
short-term memory loss.
I don't know. Either way,
I can't remember more than like a year.
Yeah, but hey, this has been doing pretty well. For all of his injuries, like I have a second one of these. Only reason why it's selling.
He's terrible.
No, he's not. He's amazing.
He can't play more than 2 games.
Okay, that's facts. But 110 after all his injuries isn't that bad.
Aaron Wan-Bissaka's better.
At least he's available, I guess. Say that much. Is it true that he got converted to right back because he had a good training session against Wilfred Zaha?
Oh, I have no idea.
I read on.
What did he play before that?
I think like wing or something. I don't know.
Oh, I would be very, very shocked considering his foot skills when he came to Manchester United. That
maybe he was midfield. I don't know. I just read on Twitter today that he had
a Twitter.
I'm not saying it's true. I would just ask you.
Some certain Chelsea accounts, I would say, let's do some research here, sir.
It wasn't it was a man, dude. I get Man U tweets now in my feed because of them. I've been just reading about all
because we cook you guys.
All right, yes.
Got a comment there, Logan. Oh, yeah, you got it.
Go ahead. No,
you got it.
I was just gonna say real music said it's just like Bowman Chrome and baseball, and like you're not wrong. Like, yes, there is a lot of money spent on Bowman Chrome, baseball autos on players that have not proven themselves at all. There's a slight difference where there is much more lead time for those players prior to getting into the MLB, so it can make sense to buy some of those players. But when they're younger, like with the NFL players, like you really are buying these guys like right before they're thrown in the fire. Then it's like a very, very volatile hit or miss situation where like just your lifespan is just extended a bit elsewhere. I do have a giveaway for tonight. I did buy this when we were in the midst of talking about different stuff. We got this cool insert here from 2000 Tops, King Griffey Jr. Hands of Gold. Hands of Gold insert. That's a big one. DJ Quicksilver won a 1997 refractor. Tim Duncan, PSA 10. That's a rookie, I believe.
Is that meant to be a hand? No,
That's
right? Like
I sure hope not.
not.
I think it's supposed to be a baseball glove in some instance, but like they didn't really make the full glove out of it. I don't know. It looks like they like halved the glove. I don't know. A couple other wins on the books tonight. Got a couple other Bowman Chrome cards. Good deal here. I know that he was supposed to be a pretty solid prospect out. I looked at his stats briefly before bidding, but 168 is a pretty sweet deal. Considering what the sales used to be on these things. I think that Raw did like $400 last, or PSN9 did like $300-400, something like that. So I got that one. I got this Nelson Rada kid Orange Sapphire for 50, like that. Got this Drew Gilbert. He's now on the Mets. Atomic Auto for 36 out of 25. Got the Ryan Braun. And then did win a big one tonight. Man, I was trying to win this for a couple $100 less than this, but I just want to get one to have so I can match with my Coco. I did get a Carlos Alcaraz auto, which I was not a fan of these for a long time, but there's no other option. So eventually I caved. Shows bought them right after release. But I will still to this day point out that if you look at this design and then you go look at Bowman Chrome Baseball from 2020, it is like the exact same card. So not a fan of that, but I do like Carlos Alcaraz a lot. And I think he's going to be an absolute stud for years to come. Now, Djokovic has no signs of slowing down. So we'll see what happens. But I was really hoping to get that final here at the U.S. Open. I think the card maybe ended a little bit low because he didn't make it to the final, so I thought maybe capitalize on that too. So we'll see if it works out. Might not, might work. We'll see. We got to see how many cards are left, though.
We got some more wins. I don't know how many of these you read off, but I'll start with this. Isn't a win, but should we D-Town Relic? Should we be picking up Jordan Love rookies and get them graded now?
Too late. I'm a Packer fan. It's too late. Even if he could have many more weeks like this, and maybe, it works out. But I just think that at this point, there's been so much gains on Jordan Love's market from like last year until this year. He does need to turn into an instant playoff quarterback this year, help justify these prices. If we miss the playoffs, like they're going to drop. But I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong.
DJ Quicksilver and a 1953 Bowman colored Mickey Mantle SGC 8. Very nice. And then Jerry, I got 2 PSA 10 Charizard Uno cards.
Did you see the tweet from the charity match with the YouTubers, bro? The Uno reverse.
The Sideman charity match?
Did you see the Uno reverse?
Yes. I think it was Max Fosh was who it was. But yeah, it's pretty funny. There's a bunch of memes that came out of that. I didn't even realize that was happening that day. But yeah, it's mainly iShow Speed. It's just.
I saw him in like some training. He was kind of cooking.
Yeah, everyone was like, we need to analyze this into the US development system. How did he become so good so fast?
I saw someone saying, like, look at this, bro. iShow Speed gets so much better in 1 year. Imagine if actual like American athletes took it serious and played like the basketball players and such or something.
Yeah, not even. I'm sure if iShow Speed became super good, that Greg Berhalter still wouldn't pick him. But
yeah. But I heard you said he actually picked a good team against whoever.
Yeah, against Uzbekistan, and we only won 3-0. So like Berhalter ball is back. He was probably like, I think this is a bad team, so let me play them against Uzbekistan, even though like it was a very solid team. Once we play like France or something, we're gonna see Giassi Zardes and freaking who else does he like to play? See, I had 2 months of clarity without him. Who's the midfielder?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh. Now I'm gonna kick myself.
Exposing himself.
Killian Acosta, that's what it was.
Oh, there you go. Also, I gotta expose Julian here live on Slapsack Sundays. This man thought that Jahmyr Gibbs is better than Bijan Robinson.
No. I didn't say he is. I said he could have a better season than him.
Yeah, you did say that, but also not.
Yeah,
Well,
you
it's
you
100% not happening now
Papa.
that Dan Campbell's not playing him at all. What was that like?
I don't know what that was, but I took a hot take and I thought Gibbs was going to have a better season than Bijan Robinson. And Gibbs didn't really play the first game. He had a very good highlight, and Bijan was kind of cooking today. So
Well,
I
I
might
do
be
have
wrong.
to admit.
I might be wrong, but I think Gibbs is good. But let's hope he starts playing.
So here's the deal, though. Bijan Robinson was supposed to be. Oh, jeez, my computer's freezing. Can you still see and hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah. I think
Okay.
it's good now.
All right. Bijan Robinson was like listed as like RB1 on the depth chart going this week. He has that sick highlight. Bro, he got 10 carries in this in this game for 56 yards, 5.6 yards per carry. This dude, Algier or whatever his name is.
Oh, yes. He had a touchdown, didn't he?
He had 16, 15 carries and 2 touchdowns. He vultured all the touchdowns.
There's got to be something like that goes beyond the eye for these rookie running backs because it would make no sense. They're easy. Maybe they're easing him into it. I don't know why you wouldn't just let him loose. Who let the dogs out, baby?
I could see like easing him into it, but also Real Music says don't sleep on Tyler Algier. Ken, did you win the Topps Chrome Ben Baller gold auto? Because that's a pretty cool card.
Real Music. He's a dog over 100 yards last year. I hope you mean like overall. He had 100 yards in a game.
Yeah. Here's the deal. Tyler Algier can be a dog, but you don't draft a running back in the top 10 if you don't plan on giving him like 20 carries a game. You know?
Yeah, well, you don't draft a quarterback, trade up to draft a quarterback and give away the majority of your picks in the future and then not play that guy. But look at where that ended us. We won today, so I can't complain. But
I thought you were talking about the Packers at first with Jordan Love because we did trade up to get.
No,
I was like, hey, look it's paying off.
Mr. Trey Lance.
Yep.
Yeah, and then there's also Cordell Patterson, right? He's still on that team.
That's right.
An absolute fantasy monster last year.
True. Yeah, that's crazy. He's kick returner, wide receiver, converted to running back.
Yeah, and what does that even make him? Like the third running back on the depth chart, which is just crazy considering.
I know. Yeah, they got a lot of weapons. Oh, nice, Ken. That's a sick card. Wait, are you telling me this dude had over 1,000 yards last year?
Who did he play for before?
The Falcons. I didn't realize he actually had 1,000 yards last year. I don't think he's lying.
Wow. What Cordell Patterson? Okay, obviously
it is
heavy.
Rookie year, he had 1,000 yards, 3 touchdowns. 3 touchdowns on 210 carries is kind of weak. Yeah, Chris, I did see that, and I saw it posted to Shane's story. Do you see that, Julian?
What?
This PSA 10, Pop 2, Messi and Ronaldo.
Oh, wow. Don't look like no PSA 10 to me.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with that one. But Chris, I imagine that's why you brought that up. That is now the highest price card in the auction. We are at 10:04 Central Time. We do have our giveaway selected, picked out. King Griffey Jr. It's the second King Griffey Jr. insert, I think, that we have now given away. Let me get the stuff for giveaway ready. I'll start the giveaway entries here pretty soon. Let's just see. I think we're getting down towards the end of the auction now, though. I gotta reduce this to 24 items. Julian picked it right last week, but remember, there was only like 8 cards left.
Okay, no, that's not true. There was 2 full pages, and I picked it right, and Aaron is just salty because he hasn't done it yet.
Okay, I have done it like 3 times over.
I don't remember that.
Didn't happen. I think that this is on the 1 page now, just so you know. So I am going to drop the line for the giveaway. So now you have to put a number 1 after that line. So Jerry, you're going to have to re-put a number 1, and we'll leave that open until 10:08 Central Time. But Julian, pick a card right now. I guess you can select whatever you want, but I'm going to pick one that's probably already going on to the next window.
I'll go with the Holland out of 5 purple.
Nice. That's a cool one. PSA 10. I'm gonna go with a crazy one here. I think I'm gonna go with this Jamal Wilkes PSA 10. I don't even know who that is. Jamal Wilkes PSA 10. Yes, everyone, join up on that giveaway. Thanks everyone for coming tonight. 10:08 Central Time. We're giving away a Ken Griffey Jr. inserts.
Come on, bid.
Mine doesn't have a bid.
Neither does mine so far.
We might both be just elimed right away here.
No. I have faith. I'm putting in a bid.
Yeah, right. Mine does not have a bid either.
Come on. Come on. Somebody wants this Holland. Real bad.
There's only 7 of these PSA 10 Jamal Wilkes. I mean,
only 1 card has been extended so far. Oh, 2.
There's 2 now. There's
not 4. No. Wow.
Well, that's a boring one.
I think I've just figured out you got to just do Pokemon cards. Those seem to be the ones that go so far. I looked at this Magic Carp and I was like, maybe I'll do that, but
should have picked Caldwell Jones, not Cardell Jones, but Caldwell Jones. Oh, there's one of those 2015 OBJ PSA 10s.
Imagine
that's a sick card.
Auto of that.
Yeah, that'd be an awesome auto. All right, everyone, just 1 more minute to join up in that giveaway.
Yo, my boy Mesut Ozil sold for the most.
Enzo, 33 grand. I mean, how do we? It's just crazy to even like identify what this is. It's nuts. SGC 1. This has got to be like one of. I'm surprised it doesn't have like one of the population things here, like pop 1, none graded higher type of thing. I've never seen that or even heard about that. It's crazy. Matt, is this the first time you've ever seen that? I think you said. I know Matt's been around vintage F1 quite a bit. What are the people around you saying about that too? I think you know a few people that are vintage F1 collectors.
Oh,
what?
Apparently there are some rumors about this Ozil and Ferrari.
What?
His reincarnation. Ferrari died August 14th, 1988, and Ozil was born October 15th, 1988.
So you're telling me that more people than just you have thought about this?
Apparently, I'm a genius.
Oh my gosh. Right. But there's some good odds to win this giveaway tonight.
There's like a lot of stuff on this.
That's wild. People are sleeping on the giveaway. There's some good odds to win tonight. Your Ken Griffey Jr. insert. I was gonna pick that Ichiro. That's one of the last ones remaining here.
D-Tone relics. I have a couple Tyreek Hill rookie cards. Would you guys sell on him now? On him, I definitely would.
Yeah, I mean, after week 1, there's so much action that goes on with football cards that like you could sell any wide receiver that had like over 100 yards and a touchdown, especially like Tyreek Hill likely. So if you have something that you think has increased in value, you know, I would definitely do some research before going for it. Man, I don't know if anyone actually spent their night watching Sunday Night Football, but it's 40-0.
Oh my god,
what a terrible game!
I guess that was like the kick Dak Prescott needed.
He didn't even do anything, bro.
Oh, Tony Pollard's eating.
Yeah, dude, Dak Prescott didn't even do anything. All right, I'm gonna run this giveaway. Matt says everyone thought the 1973 Panini sticker was Enzo's rookie. Well, shoot, 1920? That's way before that. All right, here we go. 1, 2. Come on. I'm going with Scott. Our boy Scott's going to win.
I'm going with Jack. 8.
Third and final time. Oh!
Yes!
I've never picked that. And Julian walks in here and has done what do you think, Julian? This is maybe like your 8th episode, 9th episode. I've done 86
Jack, I love you,
episodes.
man. I love you, man.
86 episodes. I've never picked the right winner on this giveaway.
My life is complete.
86. It's been 86 years. That meme.
Yeah, Aaron. How you like that, baby?
Oh, well, at least I got a cool Carlos Alcaraz card tonight. Man, congrats to Jack.
I'm better at that than I am at picking a card from one page.
True, you are.
How is that even possible?
I don't know, but I guess you could say you're the same as good, because last week you picked the right one. This week you picked the right one. You're 1-1. Jack, go to preferences, send us your character key, and I'll get that King Griffey Jr. transfer over to you. Yeah, dude, my mojo's off, bro. I'm done skis.
This is the highlight of my Slapstocks career.
That's gonna do it for tonight. I'm salty. I'm done here. But yeah, no, it was a good night. It was a good episode. Covered a lot of different. Yeah, I'll show you the Griffey. It was this Griffey. It was an insert. It's not graded, but it's the 2000 Tops Hand of Gold. So this is the one that you win here from 2000 Tops. And excuse me, that's gonna do it for the episode tonight. Fun night. Covered a lot of different, obviously, football cards, sales. Had some good cards sell of our own. Kaká auto did around 360 or so, which is nice. I mean, did a nice deal with my man Dan from the UK. Had Drew Aller Lava auto sold really well. Looks like some Penn State fans are on top of that. Gotta say, selling Jadon Sancho right now, I was really thinking Anthony Stinks timed the sale where he starts the matches, but then Ten Hag said, nope, you're not even going to train with us anymore or something like that. So yeah, I did not do well on that Jadon Sancho. But hey, can't win them all. Definitely excited about a couple of purchases, but that's all I got. Julian, anything last things to say?
Jack, you're the man.
I'm sure he's saying, Julian, you're the man. Thanks for winning me a Ken Griffey Jr.
I got you.
All right, everyone. I appreciate the support. Thanks all for coming. Thank you, SDP, for the comments. And we'll see you all next week's Slabstock Sunday show here, 9:45 p.m. Eastern Time on the Slabstocks YouTube channel.